Okay, so we are going to talk contour, blush, and highlight. So the contour that we have for ivory to beige skin is latte. We also have cocoa, which is for ebony to bronze skin. And then we have glazed and another highlighter. I can't think of what it is right now. Glazed is the lighter one for ivory to beige skin tone. So I love to use the blush brush, and we're gonna talk about blush in a second and how I do it. So I love to use the blush brush. It's angled, so I use the blush brush for all three things we're gonna talk about today. That's why it's one of my favorite brushes. Okay, so we're gonna start first with contour. So if you look at the shape of your face, okay, so if you take my face shape, I am an oval face shape, okay? So I'm a little bit more narrow here and here, right? So what I'm gonna do is, typically you think of your contouring as a 3 on your face. I do most of my contouring here. I'm gonna try and make it dark enough so that you can see it. So I personally use the bottom of my brush. I'm gonna show you why in a second. You wanna start here, you wanna stop at the corner of your eye. So these are your barriers for blush and contour, here and here. And then I'm gonna get a little bit more, and I'm gonna do my jawline. And I do up in, if you have a jawline that you can do that. I go up here, it just defines it a whole lot more. Okay, same thing on the other side. And I start mostly there at the top and kind of blend it down a little bit. Now, I don't like to have a contouring line because I just think it looks tacky, but that's just me. Save the bulk of my color for my lips and my eyes. Okay, then I'm gonna take my blush. Now, here's the deal with our blushes. Here's all of our blushes. These are powders, don't pay attention to those. All of our blushes. Some of them have a pink undertone or a cool undertone. Some of them have a neutral, some of them have a warm. So for instance, our warms are here and here. I think this one, or is it this one? Anyway, this is warm. Shy blush, neutral, you can go either way. This is a cool, it's rosy nude, Rogue Rose. This is a warm, this is a cool. So, Darling Pink and Hint of Pink. So, I tend to go warm or neutral. So for today, I'm actually gonna use Shy Blush. I'm getting it in the center of my brush, starting it on the outside at my cheekbone, and I'm kind of going like in an oval, so I'm going like this to blend the contour with the blush. Okay, same thing over here. So I'm kind of blending it so it doesn't look like I have a huge line. Always start at the outside and work towards the center and then come back, because you're blending. I mean, that's why you're using a brush. Otherwise, you'd look like you have a racing stripe. Then what I do if I want to highlight. Now, here's the fun thing. So we, of course, have our glazed highlighter right here. It's the lighter one, and the other one has a name. It is Honey Spice. That's for a little darker skin. So if you get almost bronze in the summer, you probably want to jump up to Honey Glaze. The other thing we have is in the spring they did this limited edition highlighter, which is super fun. It's called Golden Glow. It is amazing. I'm going to use that one today. Now I like to use the tip of my brush, this part right here. Now you're going to highlight just right above your blush and pull it up here. Now this one's super shimmery. You can see it because the sun's coming in on this side. And then you want to do the other side. Now if you're getting your picture taken, your picture spots are here and here. And you can do your Cupid's bow. So when I'm doing special occasion makeup, those are areas that I definitely hit. Okay? So that's highlighting. You want to highlight the areas. So here's the way you think about this. Things you highlight or lighten come forward. Things you darken or contour go back, right? So we want this to go back to make this look more defined. We want this to come forward and have a better light reflector, so that's why we highlight. So that's the difference between contour and highlight and what we do. You can contour, so if you have a square face shape, a round face shape, you can actually contour up here as well. It's a good place. If you have a very wide nose, you can take your, now I would recommend using the blending brush, and you would go right beside your nose right here with your darker color, which is your contour, so the latte, you would go beside your nose right here. Sometimes what I do to define my neckline a little bit more is I take a little bit of my contour and I go just right along here. Not enough, just enough to give a shadow. Now, if you were one of the lucky ones that got this medium glow bronze, what's it called? Bronzer, before they pulled it off the market because it was breaking. So what's happening is as you use it down and down, then if it gets bumped, it breaks. So that's part of the reason. Some of them were breaking in transit and some of them were breaking when they got to us. As a fix, if you don't have that, but you want a bronzer for the summer, I would recommend the Golden Copper blush. Works great as a bronzer. I highly recommend that. So you can always use that as a bronzer. But bronzer, I just kind of dusted in. I don't know that there's rhyme or reason for bronzer. Sorry, the sun's reflecting off of my car windshield. There we go. Sorry, guys. I had this really weird glare. So I just kind of fill in areas that I want to bronze a little bit. Just kind of dust it on. Okay. So I hope that's helpful for contour, highlight, and blush. Make it a great day.